Kate never believed in aliens. Her entire life she thought humans were alone in the universe. The stars seemed empty and cold to her. That changed on the day the massive ship appeared over Seattle. Kate worked as a botanist at the city greenhouse. She was studying plant growth patterns when the shadow fell across her workspace. The entire building went dark, then light again as the power systems adjusted. People screamed. Some ran. Others froze. Kate stood still watching through the glass ceiling. As the enormous vessel hovered silently above the city, the ship had an organic look unlike anything human engineers would design. It resembled a giant seed pod with flowing curves and strange protrusions that pulsed with blue light. Kate felt oddly calm, as if she had been waiting for this moment her entire life. 3 days passed. The world governments attempted communication. Military forces surrounded major cities, including Seattle, but no attack came. The aliens remained silent until dawn. On the 4th day, Kate woke to a strange humming in her apartment. The walls vibrated. The air felt thick. A beam of purple light shot through her window and scanned her body from head to toe before she could react. Kate tried to scream, but no sound came out. The beam intensified and she felt herself becoming weightless. Her body rose from the bed and floated toward the window. The glass seemed to melt away as she passed through it. When Kate regained awareness, she found herself in a vast chamber. The walls appeared to be alive, shifting colors from deep purple to teal. The floor felt warm beneath her bare feet and seemed to pulse with energy. No doors or windows were visible. 5 tall figures stood watching her from across the room. They were clearly female but not human. Their skin glowed with a faint blue luminescence. Their bodies stood nearly 7 feet tall, slender yet powerful. Their faces held 3 eyes each, the third positioned vertically in the center of their foreheads. Their hair resembled fine silver wire flowing down to their waists. The tallest stepped forward. Her third eye glowed brighter than the others. She wore elaborate jewelry made of materials Kate could not identify. Kate straightened her back. Even in her pajamas, she refused to appear weak. She spoke first, surprising herself with her boldness. "Who are you and why am I here?" The tall alien tilted her head, studying Kate with all 3 eyes. The third eye pulsed with light. Kate felt a strange sensation in her, mind-like gentle fingers sifting through her memories. "I am Zari, Queen of the Luridian people." The alien spoke directly into her mind. The words felt like warm honey flowing through her thoughts. "We have searched for your kind for 5,000 cycles," Kate crossed her arms. "Why me I am? Nobody special." Zari moved closer, her movements fluid and graceful. All 5 aliens now focused their third eyes on Kate. The sensation of mental probing intensified. "You are descendant of those we lost. The last queen carried. Your genetic signature. We have followed it across stars to find you." Kate laughed nervously. "I think you have the wrong person. My family is from Oregon, not outer space." The queen extended her hand, palm up. A small device appeared floating above it. A holographic image formed showing what appeared to be DNA strands. One glowed brighter than the others. "Your people call it junk DNA. We call it the royal marker. Kate Winters. You carry the bloodline of our greatest queen who disappeared during the Great Exploration. Your ancestors were our ancestors." The other aliens suddenly dropped to their knees, bowing their heads. The queen followed suit, kneeling before Kate. Her third eye dimmed in what seemed like respect or reverence. "We have found our lost daughter. We have found our future. We have found our salvation," she said. Her voice in Kate's mind became deeper, more formal. "Our people face extinction, a genetic degradation we cannot solve. The pure royal bloodline was thought lost forever. You carry what we need to survive." Kate stepped back, overwhelmed. "I cannot leave Earth. My life is here." Zari rose gracefully. "We do not ask you to leave. We ask permission to establish contact, to share knowledge, to heal our people, and perhaps to help yours. Your planet faces challenges we have overcome. Your people have abilities we have lost. Together we can become something greater than either alone." Kate felt dizzy. The implications were enormous. First contact, genetic compatibility, possible alliance with an advanced civilization. And somehow she stood at the center of it all. The Queen stepped closer still. Her scent reminded Kate of summer flowers and ozone after lightning. What she said next took Kate's breath away. You need not decide now, but know this. In our culture, the one who carries the royal marker chooses the fate of worlds. Your ancestors guided us to greatness. We believe you can do the same. The choice, how our peoples meet, belongs to you alone. We will follow your wisdom. Kate Winters, last daughter of the stars. First voice of Earth. Kate looked at the kneeling aliens, then through the suddenly transparent ceiling to the stars beyond. She saw Earth small and blue in the darkness. She saw possibilities stretching into an unimaginable future. She took a deep breath and made her choice. Kate extended her hand to the alien queen. Let me learn about your people before I decide anything, but I think we have much to offer each other. The queen touched her fingers to Kate's. A spark of blue energy passed between them. Kate gasped as knowledge flooded her mind. Images of the Luridian homeworld, their history, their struggles, their beauty, their potential. She saw how humans and Luridians might grow together, creating something new and wonderful. As Kate began to understand the true significance of this moment, she smiled. This was only the beginning. The stars were not empty after all. They were filled with possibilities. And now, because of her, they were within reach. The Queen, Rose, and the other aliens followed. They surrounded Kate not as captors but as companions. The tallest one, Zari, spoke aloud for the first time, her voice musical and strange. Welcome home. Daughter of two worlds, the future awaits our guidance. Over the next several days, Kate remained aboard the Luridian ship, learning their language and customs. She discovered the Luridians were an ancient race who had explored the galaxy long before humans developed civilization. Their biology was remarkably similar to humans, suggesting a common ancestry somewhere in the distant past. The Luridians explained how 10,000 years ago, their greatest queen led an expedition to Earth. Some remained behind, establishing colonies and interbreeding with early humans. Over time, the alien genetics became dormant, appearing as junk DNA in human genetic code. Only Kate had the complete royal sequence, making her uniquely valuable to their species. Kate met many Luridians aboard the ship. Scientists, warriors, artists, all treated her with deep respect, bordering on worship, which made her uncomfortable. She insisted on being treated normally. Learning that humor was one concept the aliens struggled to understand. Their formal nature softened somewhat around Kate, as if her humanity was contagious. The ship contained amazing technology. Kate saw machines that could heal any injury, devices that could create matter from energy, and weapons that could destroy entire planets. Yet the Luridians seemed peaceful. Their society valued knowledge above all else. Kate worried about Earth. The governments were growing impatient. Missiles had been positioned around Seattle, aimed at the alien vessel. Kate pleaded with Zari to make formal contact with human leaders, but the Queen insisted that Kate must be the one to introduce them. The time has come, Zari told Kate one morning. You must return to Earth temporarily and prepare your leaders for meeting us. Choose wisely whom to trust. Kate felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on her. How could she possibly decide who should represent humanity in first contact with an alien civilization? She thought of her friend Megan, who worked in government. Perhaps she could help. That evening, Kate was transported back to her apartment. Everything looked exactly as she had left it. Her phone showed she had been missing for only 6 days, though it felt like months. Hundreds of messages waited from friends, family, and authorities, all wondering where she had gone. Kate called Megan immediately, knowing the call would be traced. She had barely 20 minutes before authorities would arrive. Megan, I need your help, Kate said when her friend answered. It's about the aliens. Megan gasped. Kate, where have you been? Everyone has been looking for you. I was on their ship, Kate explained quickly. I need to speak with someone in charge. Someone who won't just want to blow them up or steal their technology. The Luridians are peaceful. They want to help us." Megan was silent for a long moment. "You realize how crazy this sounds, right?" "I know, but it's true. They chose me as their ambassador because of my DNA. It's complicated. Please, Megan, help me find someone reasonable to talk to." Kate heard sirens in the distance. She looked out her window to see police cars approaching. "They traced my call," Kate said hurriedly. "Megan, please believe me. I'm not crazy. This is real, and it's important. The fate of both our species depends on what happens next." "I believe you," Megan said suddenly. "My uncle is on the Presidential Science Advisory Committee. I'll call him now. Stay where you are. Don't resist when they come. Just ask for me by name. I'll get there as soon as I can." The line went dead as pounding began on Kate's door. She took a deep breath, knowing the real challenge was only beginning. Now she had to convince the most powerful people on Earth to welcome the aliens rather than fear them, and she had to do it before fear turned to violence. Kate sat in a small, windowless room. The walls were plain white. A single metal table stood between her and two stern government agents who had been questioning her for hours. They seemed skeptical of everything she told them about the Luridians, so, "Let me get this straight," Agent Larson said, checking his notes. "You claim you were abducted by aliens who told you that you have special DNA, and now you're supposed to be their ambassador." Kate nodded, exhausted. "I know how it sounds, but it's true. Everything I told you is true. They need my help. Their genetic line is dying. They came looking specifically for me." The second agent, Agent Martinez, shook her head. "These aliens just happened to pick a botanist with no political experience or military training." As their representative, before Kate could respond, the door opened. A tall woman with short gray hair entered. She wore a crisp navy suit and carried herself with clear authority. The agents immediately stood Director Porter. The woman introduced herself, dismissing the agents with a nod. "Kate, I understand you've had quite an experience." Kate felt a surge of hope as the agents left. Finally, someone who might listen. Director Porter sat across from Kate. "My team has been monitoring the alien vessel since it arrived. Your disappearance and reappearance coincide with unusual energy readings from the ship, so I'm inclined to believe at least part of your story." "Thank you," Kate said. "I need to arrange a meeting between our leaders and Queen Zari. The Luridians want peaceful contact. They can help us with technology, medicine, climate solutions. But they need my genetic material to save their species." Porter studied Kate carefully. "Why would advanced beings need human DNA?" Kate explained about the ancient Luridian expedition to Earth, how some aliens remained and interbred with humans, how the royal genetic markers had been diluted over millennia except in her bloodline. "There's more," Kate added. "The Luridians aren't the only aliens watching Earth. There are others, less friendly. The Luridians can help protect us." Porter raised an eyebrow. "That sounds convenient. A threat that only they can defend us against." "It's the truth," Kate insisted. "I saw their historical records. The Luridians have been defending Earth secretly for centuries." Porter sighed. "Your friend Megan pulled some strings. Her uncle wants to meet you. The presidential science team is flying in tonight. Until then, you'll remain here." Kate spent the rest of the day alone in the room, wondering if she had made a mistake by returning to Earth. She could feel Zara's presence at the edge of her mind, a faint connection established during their mental link. Kate concentrated on that feeling, trying to send reassurance, though she wasn't sure if the alien queen could receive her thoughts. That evening, Kate was escorted to a conference room. Several important-looking people sat around a large table. Kate recognized the science advisor from television. The others were introduced as military officials, intelligence directors, and government scientists. Megan sat in a corner taking notes. She gave Kate an encouraging smile. "Dr. Harris," the science advisor, spoke first. "Ms. Winters, we understand you claim to have important information about the alien vessel." Kate took a deep breath and told her story again, explaining the Luridian genetic crisis, their peaceful intentions, and their advanced technology. She described the mental link with Queen Zari, how it allowed her to see the truth of their civilization when She finished, the room was silent. Finally, Dr. Harris spoke. What proof can you offer of these claims? Kate had anticipated this question. I can't prove everything, but the Luridians gave me something. He reached into her pocket and removed a small crystal. The crystal glowed softly with internal blue light. This contains information about Luridian medical technology, Kate explained. It can cure most human diseases, including cancer. The crystal was quickly confiscated for study. Dr. Harris conferred quietly with the military officials. Then he turned back to Kate. Even if we believe you, which is a significant, if we can't simply allow alien beings unrestricted access to Earth. National security concerns alone. Kate felt frustration building. These beings crossed galaxies to find us. They could have conquered Earth easily if that was their intention. Instead, they seek permission. They want cooperation, not domination. The debate continued for hours, with Kate defending the Luridians against increasingly hostile questions. The military representatives seemed convinced the aliens represented a threat, while the scientists were divided. Some saw opportunity, others danger. As midnight approached, Kate felt a sudden warmth in her mind. Queen Zari was attempting contact. The sensation grew stronger until Kate could hear the Queen's voice clearly. They fear us as expected, Zari said in Kate's mind. It is time for demonstration. Tell them to look outside. Kate stood, interrupting a general mid-sentence. Tell everyone to look outside. Now something in her voice must have conveyed urgency. The conference room had a large window overlooking the city. Everyone moved toward it. The night sky above the city suddenly filled with light. Hundreds of smaller vessels had appeared. Around the main Luridian ship, they formed a protective ring glowing with soft blue energy. The ships began moving in perfect synchronization, creating patterns of light that spelled out words in English, visible to the entire city. We come in peace, Kate. Winters speaks. With our voice we await your answer. The display continued with mathematical sequences, universal constants, and finally, a simple message. Tomorrow at dawn. Kate felt the mental connection strengthen. Zari spoke directly into her mind, so clearly it was as if she stood in the room. Tomorrow at dawn. We will land in your city's Central Park. We will meet with your leaders. You will stand with us. Kate Winters. Show them. We mean no harm. The lights faded, leaving the night sky normal again. Except for the presence of the alien ships, Kate turned to face the stunned officials. Tomorrow at dawn they will land in Central Park. Kate said. They request a meeting with Earth representatives. I will be there, with or without you. Dr. Harris recovered. First, this changes everything. We need to prepare. The room erupted into activity. Military officials made urgent phone calls. Security protocols were discussed. Scenarios were planned. Kate sat quietly watching. She had delivered her message. Now events would unfold as they would. Megan approached, sitting beside Kate. You realize you've just changed human history? She whispered. Kate nodded, feeling overwhelmed. Just a botanist. How did I end up here? Megan squeezed her hand. Because you're special. The aliens saw it, and now everyone else will too. Kate spent the night under guard in a comfortable hotel room. She slept fitfully, dreaming of stars and strange worlds. When dawn approached, she was escorted to Central Park. The area had been evacuated. For miles around, military personnel formed a perimeter. Government officials waited nervously on a hastily constructed platform. Kate stood apart from them, feeling caught between two worlds. The sky lightened as the sun began to rise. A hush fell over the crowd. A beam of light descended from the main ship. A smaller vessel appeared within it, gliding silently downward. The craft was beautiful, organic in design with flowing lines and pulsing lights. It landed gently on the grass, leaving no mark. A door appeared in its side opening like the petals of a flower. Queen Zari emerged, flanked by 4 Luridian guards. All stood tall and regal, their 3 eyes scanning the surroundings. Their blue skin shimmered in the morning light. Kate moved forward without waiting for permission. The officials protested, but she ignored them. She walked directly to Queen Zari and bowed slightly, as she had learned was proper. The Queen acknowledged Kate with a tilt of her head, then looked beyond her to the waiting humans. Behind them, television cameras broadcast the historic moment to billions around the world. The time has come. Zari said aloud, her musical voice carrying clearly across the park. Today, our peoples meet as equals. May this be the beginning of a great alliance. Kate turned to translate, though the Queen had spoken in perfect English. She faced the officials and the cameras, knowing her next words would be remembered for generations. These are the Luridians, she began. They come, seeking friendship and offering knowledge. They ask only for acceptance and the chance to heal both our worlds. The choice is ours. Do we welcome them as friends or turn away in fear? I have seen their world, their hearts. They are worthy of our trust, Doctor. Harris stepped forward cautiously. We welcome you to Earth, Queen Zari. We have many questions, many concerns, but we are willing to listen. Zari nodded, her third eye glowing brightly. That is all we ask. To be heard, to be known, as you will come to know us. We will come to know you. Kate felt tears in her eyes as she watched the first official contact between humans and Luridians. The dawn of a new era had begun, and somehow she stood at its center, a simple botanist from Seattle, now the bridge between two worlds. Queen Zari turned to Kate and spoke in the ancient Luridian language, a phrase Kate somehow understood. The stars have aligned, daughter of Earth. The future begins today. 6 months passed since the Luridians arrived on Earth. Kate found herself living between two worlds. She maintained her apartment in Seattle, but spent most of her time in the newly established Luridian embassy, a beautiful structure that seemed to grow, rather than be built on the outskirts of the city. The building resembled a giant crystal flower with spiraling towers and walls that changed color. With the sun, Kate served as the official human liaison to the Luridians. Her days were filled with diplomatic meetings, technological exchanges, and cultural discussions. She had learned to speak the Luridian language fluently. Their mental connection techniques helped accelerate her learning. She could now communicate telepathically with Zari and other high-ranking Luridians, a skill that amazed and sometimes unsettled her human colleagues. The alliance between Earth and the Luridians was proceeding cautiously but positively. The aliens had shared medical technology that cured several previously untreatable diseases. They helped develop clean energy systems that were beginning to replace fossil fuels worldwide. They offered defensive capabilities to protect Earth from potential threats. In return, humans shared their art, music, literature, and most importantly, genetic diversity. Kate underwent regular medical procedures, donating blood and tissue samples to Luridian scientists. These samples were being used to develop treatments for the genetic degradation affecting their species. Early results were promising. The royal markers in Kate's DNA provided the blueprint needed to restore stability to the Luridian genome. Not everyone welcomed the aliens. Many religious groups protested their presence, claiming they were demons or false gods. Others feared hidden agendas, believing the Luridians wanted to colonize Earth. Conspiracy theories spread online. Protest groups formed. Some became violent, attacking Luridian facilities and human supporters. Kate received death threats daily. Her face was recognized everywhere. She could no longer live a normal life. Security personnel, both human and Luridian, shadowed her constantly. The pressure sometimes felt unbearable. On this particular morning, Kate sat in the embassy garden, enjoying a rare moment of solitude. The garden combined Earth plants with Luridian specimens, creating strange and beautiful hybrid flowers. Kate felt at peace among the plants. They reminded her of her life before first contact, when she was just a botanist with simple dreams. Megan joined her, carrying 2 cups of coffee. She handed one to Kate and sat beside her on a bench that seemed to grow from the living floor. Megan now worked as a diplomatic assistant, coordinating between human governments and the Luridians. You look tired, Megan observed. Kate sipped her coffee, closing her eyes briefly. I haven't been sleeping well. The dreams are getting stronger. Since establishing deeper mental connections with the Luridians, Kate had experienced increasingly vivid dreams. She saw distant worlds, star systems she couldn't identify, and sometimes glimpses of what seemed to be the future. The dreams left her exhausted. "Have you told Zari?" Megan asked. Kate nodded. "She says it's normal. My mind is adapting to the connection. Growing stronger. Some of the dreams might be actual memories from the original queen, the one who came to Earth thousands of years ago." Megan looked skeptical. "That sounds intense. Are you sure this is safe?" Before Kate could answer, an alarm sounded throughout the embassy. The peaceful garden suddenly filled with Luridian guards, their normally calm demeanor replaced with alert vigilance. "What's happening?" Kate asked, reaching instinctively for the mental link with Zari. The Queen's presence filled her mind immediately. Danger. "Kate, return to the central chamber. Quickly, bring your friend." Kate grabbed Megan's arm. "Come on. Something is wrong." They hurried through the living corridors of the embassy, Luridian guards escorting them. The walls pulsed with red light, a warning signal Kate had never seen before. They reached the central chamber where Queen Zari and the Luridian Council waited. Their faces showed concern unusual for the typically stoic aliens. Zari approached Kate. Her third eye glowed intensely. "They have come sooner than expected." Who? Kate asked, though she already sensed the answer from Zara's mind. "The Morvax." Zari replied, "Our ancient enemies. They have detected our presence here. Our intelligence indicates 3 warships approaching your solar system. They will arrive within days." Kate felt cold fear spread through her. The Luridians had mentioned the Morvax before, a hostile species that had fought with them for millennia. The Luridians had withdrawn from many frontier worlds to avoid conflict. The Morvax were described as conquerors with no interest in diplomacy or cooperation. "What do they want?" Kate asked. "Earth," Zari said simply. "They want what we all want. A new home, resources, living space. But unlike us, they take, without asking. They destroy what resists." Megan stepped forward. "This is why you really came to Earth, isn't it? Not just for Kate's DNA, but for protection. You knew they were coming." Zari turned all 3 eyes toward Megan. "We came for many reasons. The genetic crisis is real. The royal markers in Kate are essential to our survival. But yes, we also knew the Morvax were expanding in this direction. Earth is valuable. Habitable worlds are rare. We hoped to establish alliance before they arrived, to prepare you to help defend." Kate felt betrayed. "You should have told us everything from the beginning. We feared you would not trust us," Zari admitted. "Your people are suspicious by nature. If we had spoken of enemies from space, you would have believed. We manufactured a threat to manipulate you." The argument was interrupted by a Luridian scientist entering with urgency. "Council members, telemetry confirms 3 Morvax battlecruisers. They will reach Earth orbit in approximately 72 hours. What can we do?" Kate asked, pushing aside her feelings of betrayal. The immediate threat took precedence. Zari moved to a central platform. A holographic display appeared showing Earth and the approaching Morvax ships. They resembled massive black spiders, mechanical and threatening. "Unlike the organic Luridian vessels, we have defensive capabilities," Zari explained. "But our ships are few. The Morvax are numerous. They will target our embassy first, then your major cities. Their pattern is consistent. They eliminate resistance, then establish mining operations, stripping planets of resources." "What about negotiation?" Kate suggested. "Can we talk to them?" Zari shook her head. "They do not communicate with those they consider prey. We have tried for centuries." Megan, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. "We need to inform Earth governments immediately. Military forces need to prepare." Zari nodded. "Kate, you must address your leaders. The Luridian Council will provide all information about Morvax capabilities and weaknesses. We will offer our defensive technology, but your people must unite. There is no time for division." Within hours, Kate found herself addressing an emergency United Nations session. The Great Hall was filled with representatives from every nation. Many appeared via video conference. Anxiety filled the room as Kate explained the approaching threat. The Morvacs are coming. Kate said directly, "They will arrive in 3 days. They do not come in peace. Their pattern is consistent: conquest resource, extraction, enslavement, or elimination of native species. The Luridians have provided everything they know about Morvacs technology, weapons, and tactics. They are offering defensive systems, but we must work together." The hall erupted into chaos. Some leaders accused the Luridians of creating the threat, others demanded immediate military action against both alien species. Still others called for surrender, hoping to appease the newcomers. Kate waited for the shouting to subside. "This is not about politics or old rivalries," she continued. "This is about survival. The Luridians came to us openly seeking cooperation. The Morvacs come with weapons ready. They have destroyed hundreds of civilizations. We have 3 days to prepare. We must stand together." The debate continued for hours. Kate remained calm, answering questions, providing information. Eventually, most nations agreed to a coordinated defense plan. Luridian technology would be distributed to military forces worldwide. A unified command structure was established. Kate would serve as liaison between human forces and the Luridian defenders. As she left the UN building, Kate felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on her. She was no longer just a bridge between two species. She was now part of the defense of her entire world. Megan waited outside with a car. "We need to get you to the military command center," she said. "The Joint Chiefs are waiting." Kate paused, looking up at the sky. The stars were just becoming visible in the evening. Light somewhere up there, the Morvacs approached. 3 days, until everything changed again. "I never wanted any of this," Kate said quietly. "I was happy studying plants. Now the fate of 2 species rests partly on my shoulders." Megan squeezed her hand. Then, "It's good you're not alone in this. The Luridians need you. Earth needs you. But you also have friends who needs a normal life anyway." Kate managed a small smile as they got into the car. As they drove through the city, she noticed people going about, their evening routines, unaware that alien warships approached. They would know soon enough. Everyone would know. Kate closed her eyes, reaching for the mental link with Zari. The Queen responded immediately. "Are your people preparing?" Zari asked. "As best they can," Kate replied, "but we're not united. Some still don't believe the threat is real." "They will believe," Zari said grimly. "When the Morvacs arrive, everyone will believe." Kate stood on the observation deck of the military command center, looking at the massive screens displaying Earth orbital space. The mood was tense as military personnel from nations across the world monitored the approaching Morvacs vessels. The ships were now visible on long-range sensors. 3 massive dark shapes moving steadily toward Earth. Luridian technicians worked alongside human engineers, installing defense systems. Zari had provided shield technology that was being adapted to protect major cities. The work proceeded around the clock, but Kate knew they needed more time. General Harper, the American commander, approached Kate. "Our forces are at full alert. The Luridian shields are operational in 8 major cities, but we couldn't cover everything." Kate nodded, understanding the impossible situation. Earth's military had never faced a threat like this. They had no experience with space combat. The Luridians had provided what help they could, but their numbers were few. The Chinese and Russian representatives joined them on the platform. "Our air defenses are integrated with Luridian targeting systems," Colonel Chen reported. "But without knowing Morvacs' attack patterns, we are guessing at best strategies." The Russian General Petrov looked grim. "We should evacuate civilian populations from major cities." Before Kate could respond, a Luridian scientist hurried over. "Honored Ambassador, we have detected energy surges from the lead Morvacs vessel. They are preparing weapons." Kate felt her stomach tighten. They still had nearly 12 hours before the ships were expected to reach orbit. Why would they power weapons now? She reached for her mental link with Zari, who was coordinating Luridian defenses from their embassy. "Zari, something is happening. I sense it," the Queen responded. "The Morvacs are not waiting for orbit. They are launching attack drones. We did not anticipate this." They have improved their technology. Kate turned to the generals. They are launching attack craft now. Get your fighters in the air. Alarms blared throughout the facility. As military commanders shouted orders, Kate watched the screens in horror. Hundreds of small craft had deployed from the Morvax ships. They were accelerating toward Earth far faster than expected. First contact will be in minutes, not hours, Kate announced. We need to activate all defenses now. The room erupted into activity. General Harper activated the emergency broadcast system, alerting civilians worldwide to seek shelter. The Luridian shields hummed to life over protected cities, creating shimmering domes visible from miles away. Kate closed her eyes, focusing on her connection with Zari. Together they coordinated the Luridian defenders. The alien queen shared tactical information directly into Kate's mind, who relayed it to human commanders. The first wave of Morvax drones entered the atmosphere. Their black angular shapes moved with mechanical precision. The assembled Earth forces launched interceptors. Human fighter jets flew alongside smaller Luridian vessels. The battle began over the Pacific Ocean. Explosions lit the sky as Earth made its first stand against alien invaders. Morvax drones proved difficult targets, moving with impossible speed and maneuverability. Many human aircraft were lost in the initial engagement. Kate watched the tactical displays, feeling helpless. The Luridian ships performed better, destroying several drones, but they were outnumbered. The Morvax craft that broke through headed toward major cities. The shields are holding over protected areas, General Harper reported, but unshielded regions are taking heavy damage. San Diego, Phoenix, Bangkok, they have no protection. Kate made a decision. Send all available Luridian ships to the unprotected cities. Prioritize civilian centers. Through her mental link, Kate coordinated with Zari. The Luridian vessels redeployed, forming a defensive screen over vulnerable population centers. They took heavy losses but managed to destroy many attacking drones. Battle continued for hours. Wave after wave of Morvax drones entered the atmosphere. Each was met with fierce resistance, but Earth forces were being worn down. The command center received reports of drone landings in rural areas. Small groups of Morvax fighters had reached the ground. Kate studied the tactical displays, noticing a pattern. The drones avoided direct attacks on the Luridian embassy. Instead, they targeted military bases, power plants, and communication centers. They were attempting to disable Earth's infrastructure. We need to change tactics, Kate announced. They are picking off our command and control capabilities. We must protect those systems. As the human military adjusted its defensive posture, a new alert sounded. The main Morvax vessels had entered orbit sooner than expected. Their massive forms blocked out the stars, creating artificial eclipses visible from the ground. Zara's voice filled Kate's mind with sudden urgency. They are positioning for a primary strike. The central ship is targeting our embassy. They mean to eliminate our leadership. Kate relayed the warning, but before countermeasures could be deployed, a brilliant beam of energy lanced down from the largest Morvax ship. It struck the Luridian embassy with devastating force. The beautiful crystalline structure shattered under the impact. Kate screamed as her mental link with Zari exploded with pain. The connection went silent. The embassy was gone. Along with Queen Zari and the Luridian Council, the military commanders stared at Kate in shock. They have destroyed the Luridian embassy, General. Harper said. The aliens, the ones helping us. They targeted them first. Kate fought through her grief and pain. The Morvax know the Luridians are their primary threat. The embassy contained their most advanced defensive technology. Suddenly Kate felt something strange, a faint echo in her mind. Zari. The mental link was not completely gone. The Queen had survived somehow, Kate. I hear you barely. Zari's thoughts were weak, distant. The council chambers were shielded. Some of us survive, but we are trapped. We cannot help you now. The defense of Earth rests with you. The royal blood must guide. Kate straightened her back, facing the assembled commanders. The Luridians are not defeated, but we must proceed without their direct help. The Morvax will begin landing their main forces soon. We need to coordinate a global ground defense. Colonel Chen looked skeptical. How do we fight them? We know nothing about their ground capabilities. Kate closed her eyes, drawing on memories shared by Zari. The Morvax foot soldiers are cybernetic warriors, part biological, part machine. They are vulnerable to electromagnetic pulses and high-energy plasma weapons the Luridians provided. Specifications for such weapons to your engineers. General Petrov nodded. We have prototype plasma rifles based on Luridian designs. Not many, but some. Kate made another decision. Evacuate all civilians from coastal cities. The Morvax prefer to establish beachheads near water. Their equipment requires large amounts of hydrogen which they extract from water, as the military leaders rushed to implement her directives. Kate retreated to a quiet corner. The situation seemed hopeless. Earth forces were outmatched, the Luridians were trapped. Yet surrender was not an option. The Morvax would strip the planet regardless. Kate felt something stirring within her. Something beyond the mental link with Zari. Something deeper, more primal. The royal blood. Zari had mentioned ancient memories encoded in her DNA began to surface. Kate saw flashes of battles fought long ago. Strategies used by Luridian queens to defeat enemies. Knowledge that had been dormant in her genes, activated by stress and necessity. Kate returned to the command platform with renewed purpose. We have one advantage they do not expect, she announced. The Morvax believe they have eliminated Luridian leadership. They do not know about me, about what I carry. She approached the tactical display. The Morvax have a hierarchical command structure. Their ships are controlled from the central vessel, the smallest one orbiting near the North Pole. That is their weakness. General Harper studied the display. You suggest we attack the command ship. How we have no space. Combat capability. Kate pointed to a smaller screen showing a Luridian shuttle still intact in an underground hangar. It survived because it was being upgraded with new weapons. The shuttle can reach the Morvax command ship. It can penetrate their defenses. I know how their shields have a fluctuation pattern. I can see it in my mind. The assembled commanders looked at her with doubt. Kate Winters was a botanist, not a warrior. Yet she spoke with absolute conviction. I must go, Kate said firmly. The royal blood must face them. This is what the Luridians prepared for, why they sought me out. I carry not just genetic material, but ancestral memory. The knowledge of how to defeat the Morvax. Megan, who had been silent during the battle planning, grabbed Kate's arm. This is suicide. You can't possibly think about what you're saying. Kate turned to her friend. I have been thinking about nothing else. The Luridians knew this day would come. They prepared me without my knowledge. Each mental connection, each sharing of history was building toward this moment. I know what I must do. General Harper studied Kate carefully. You really believe you can do this? Kate nodded. I know I can. The Morvax expect humans to be primitive, unaware of their weaknesses, but I am not entirely human anymore. The royal blood gives me insight they will not expect. The general conferred with other commanders. After intense debate they agreed. It was a desperate plan, but they had few options. The Luridian shuttle was prepared. Kate was given a crash course in its operation, though strangely she found she already knew how to fly it. The knowledge was there in her mind, waiting to be accessed. As Kate prepared to depart, Megan hugged her fiercely. You have to come back, you hear me? This planet needs you. I need you, my friend. The Luridian shuttle climbed through Earth's atmosphere. The sleek vessel moved with surprising speed, avoiding detection by Morvax sensors. Kate piloted with instinctive skill, her hands moving across alien controls as if she had done this countless times, her mind filled with ancient knowledge awakened by crisis guiding her actions. From orbit, Earth looked peaceful, beautiful, a blue jewel against the blackness of space. It was hard to believe a battle raged across its surface. Morvax forces had established landing zones on 3 continents. Human and remaining Luridian defenders fought desperately to contain the invasion. Kate adjusted course, heading toward the smaller Morvax command vessel. The ship resembled a mechanical spider, its black hull bristling with weapons and sensors. According to the awakened memories in Kate's mind, this vessel contained the Morvax hive commander, the controlling intelligence for the entire attack force. The shuttle approached from beneath using Earth's magnetic field for partial concealment. Kate activated the Luridian cloaking system. The shuttle shimmered, becoming nearly invisible. A technology the Morvax had never fully countered. Kate reached for her mental link with Zari. The connection remained, faint but present. I approached the command vessel. Kate thought we will have one chance. Zaris' response came weakly. The royal blood knows the way. Trust what awakens within you. Kate Winters. Remember, you are never truly alone. Kate felt the presence of others in her mind. Distant echoes of past Luridian queens. Their memories, their knowledge, their courage flowed through her. The genetic heritage awakening fully. The shuttle slid silently beneath the Morvax vessel. Kate identified a maintenance hatch, used for external repairs. An entrance the Morvax would not expect to be breached. She positioned the shuttle directly beneath it and activated the cutting beam. A precise blue light sliced through the alien metal, creating an opening, just large, enough for her to enter. Kate secured her environment suit, a Luridian design that hugged her body like a second skin. The helmet formed around her head from seemingly nowhere, a marvel of alien technology. The suit would protect her from vacuum and Morvax detection systems. It also amplified her strength and reflexes. She opened the shuttle airlock and propelled herself upward through the hole into the Morvax ship. Artificial gravity pulled her to the deck. The air was breathable but had a metallic. Taint lights pulsed along angular corridors, casting harsh shadows. The Morvax aesthetic was utilitarian, almost brutal. Completely opposite to the organic beauty of Luridian design, Kate moved silently through the corridors. The ancestral memories guided her, showing the typical layout of Morvax command vessels. She avoided patrols of drone sentries. Their insectile forms scuttled past unseeing. The Luridian suit masked her life signs, making her nearly invisible to Morvax sensors. She reached a central shaft that ran the height of the vessel. According to the memories, this would lead to the command center. Kate grabbed a maintenance ladder and began climbing. The physical enhancements from her suit made the ascent easy, her muscles barely tired despite climbing hundreds of feet. At the top of the shaft, Kate paused. Directly ahead lay the command center, the heart of the Morvax invasion. She could sense the hive commander beyond the sealed doorway, a presence both biological and mechanical, the perfect merger of flesh and technology. Ancient beyond human understanding, Kate removed a small device from her suit. The memories identified it as a Luridian phase disruptor. It would temporarily disable Morvax technology, giving her a brief window of opportunity. She placed it against the door and activated it. The device hummed softly, then emitted a pulse of blue energy. The door mechanisms failed. The massive portal slid open. Kate moved swiftly into the command center. The chamber was vast, filled with curved control stations staffed by Morvax drones. Their bodies were partially mechanical with multiple limbs and glowing red sensory clusters. In the center, on a raised platform, stood the hive commander. The being towered over Kate. Its body resembled a massive spider with a humanoid torso rising from the center. 8 mechanical legs supported its weight. Its head featured multiple eyes that swiveled toward her as she entered, red with vertical pupils. They widened in what might have been surprise. Kate felt no fear as she faced the ancient enemy of the Luridians. The royal blood gave her clarity, purpose. The hive commander studied her with obvious curiosity. The phase disruptor had temporarily disabled weapons and communication systems, but the Morvax themselves remained functional. You are not Luridian. The commander spoke, its voice a metallic rasp in her mind. Yet you bear their royal signature. Impossible. Kate stood tall, drawing on the memories of Queen's past. I am both human and Luridian. The lost bloodline has returned. The commander moved closer, its massive form looming over her. How amusing, the legendary lost queen reborn in primitive form. We believed those stories were Luridian myth. Yet here you stand, a genetic hybrid, an abomination. The commander circled Kate, studying her from all angles. The drones remained at their stations awaiting orders. Your worlds combine forces against us. The commander continued. It will not save them. The Morvax have consumed Hundreds of civilizations more advanced than yours, Earth will be stripped of resources, its people harvested, its potential wasted. Kate felt the royal blood surging within her. The ancient Luridian queens had faced this enemy before. They had not always won, but they had never surrendered. She thought of Earth, of Zari, of the future that could be. If only she succeeded. I did not come to surrender, Kate said. I came to offer you one chance. Leave Earth now. Return to your territory. Never approach this world again. The commander made a sound like grinding metal. Laughter. You have courage, little hybrid, but you have no power here. Your shuttle was detected the moment it docked. Your Luridian tricks are known to us. We allowed your approach out of curiosity. Kate's heart sank, but she maintained her composure. The royal blood would not show weakness. What will you do with me? She asked, her hand slowly moving toward a concealed pocket in her suit. The commander loomed closer. You will be studied, your genetic structure mapped. The secret of the royal blood will finally be ours. After generations of conflict, the Luridian advantage will belong to the Morvax. Kate smiled. Then you should examine me closely. She pulled the hidden Luridian device. From her suit, it resembled a small crystal similar to the one she had shown Earth scientists months ago. The commander reacted instantly, its limbs reaching for her, but Kate had already activated the device. A pulse of blue energy exploded outward. It passed through her harmlessly, but struck the Morvax with devastating effect. The commander screamed a mechanical wail that echoed through the chamber. Its systems flickered. The drones at their stations collapsed, their cybernetic components shorting out. The genetic disruptor worked exactly as the ancient memories had shown. Only a carrier of royal blood could use it safely. The device targeted specific genetic weaknesses in Morvax biology, weaknesses the Luridians had engineered centuries ago, during previous conflicts a weapon of last resort. The commander struggled to remain functional, its mechanical legs failing one by one. You cannot. The genetic key. We thought it lost. Kate approached the failing commander. Royal blood carries royal secrets. Your species forgot the safeguards built into your ancestors. The failsafe the Luridians created when your kind first rebelled. The commander collapsed, its systems failing. The drones throughout the ship would be similarly affected, their partially biological nature compromised by the genetic disruption. Kate moved quickly to the command console. The ancient memories guided her hands as she accessed Morvax systems. She transmitted the genetic disruption signal to the other Morvax ships. The pulse would spread, affecting all Morvax forces in the system, not killing them but disabling their technology, rendering them harmless. Alarms blared throughout the vessel. The disruption was spreading, secondary systems failing. Kate needed to leave quickly. She had minutes before the ship would lose life support. As she turned to exit, the commander spoke again, its voice weak, mechanical. Kate Winters. This is not victory. The Morvax are vast. Our fleet's numerous. Others will come. Kate looked back at the fallen enemy. Your failure will be known. Your defeat transmitted to your fleet. The genetic vulnerability exposed. The Morvax will not risk their entire species to attack Earth again. She left the command center, hurrying back through the corridors. The memories guided her, showing the fastest route to her shuttle. Morvax drones lay disabled throughout the ship. The genetic disruptor had worked better than expected. Kate reached the maintenance shaft and descended quickly. The ship shuddered, around her systems failing catastrophically. She pushed herself harder, knowing time was short. She reached her shuttle and sealed herself inside. Just as she detached from the Morvax vessel, it began to break apart. Not an explosion, but a systematic failure of all systems. The other Morvax ships were similarly affected. Their attack on Earth halted as suddenly as it had begun. Kate piloted the shuttle away from the disintegrating command ship. She opened a channel to Earth forces. This is Kate Winters. The Morvax fleet has been neutralized. Their forces on the ground will be disabled. Stand by for my return. She flew the shuttle back toward Earth, feeling exhaustion wash over her. The ancient memories began to fade, returning to dormancy in Her DNA, she had accomplished what generations of Luridians had failed to do, defeated the Morvax without destroying them.